Today we are going to discuss what a contractive sequence is and how does a contractive sequence of real numbers behave. So we begin with the definition of a contractive sequence. A sequence x equal to sequence xn of real numbers is said to be contractive if there exists a constant c with 0 less than c less than 1 such that modulus of xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1 is less than or equal to c into modulus of xn plus 1 minus xn. So if there is such a constant c satisfying modulus of xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1 less than or equal to c into modulus of xn plus 1 minus xn for all n belongs to n, then the sequence is contractive. And the constant c is known as the constant of the contractive sequence. Now this means let us consider the sequence of real numbers. Say the terms, these are the terms which lie on R. Say we have xn, somewhere xn plus 1 and xn plus 2. Note that these are the sequence of real numbers lying on R. Then the distance between xn plus 2, xn plus 2 and xn plus 1 is always less than or equal to distance between xn plus 1 and xn. This is true for all n. All the terms of the sequence satisfies this inequality. So we have a constant c which is between 0 and 1. So note that as we go ahead in the sequence, the distance between the terms of the sequence decreases. Such a sequence is known as a contractive sequence. So we see the examples of these sequences later in this video. We consider the nature of a contractive sequence of real numbers. So we have a characterization theorem. A contractive sequence of real numbers is Cauchy. A contractive sequence of real numbers is Cauchy, and we know that every Cauchy sequence of real numbers is convergent and hence is convergent. That is, the criteria is the theorem is every contractive sequence of real numbers is convergent. So let us prove the theorem. Suppose x equal to sequence xn is a contractive sequence. So by definition, there exists a real number c in between 0 and 1 such that modulus of xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1 is less than or equal to c into modulus of xn plus 1 and xn. So again applying the definition of the contractive sequence to the terms xn plus 1, xn and xn minus 1. This term is less than or equal to c into modulus of xn and xn minus 1. That means this will be less than or equal to c into modulus of xn minus 1. So which is c square into modulus of xn minus 1. So continuing, this is less than or equal to c cube into modulus of xn minus 1 minus xn minus 2, etc. Continuing this way, this is less than or equal to c raised to n into modulus of x2 minus x1. Okay, that is what we have is modulus of xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1 is less than or equal to c raised to n into modulus of x2 minus x1, which is true for all n belongs to n. So now we will prove that then the sequence is Cauchy. So in order to prove that the sequence is Cauchy, we have to prove that modulus of xm minus xn tends to 0 as m and n tends to infinity. So without loss of generality, let us assume m greater than n. Then modulus of xm minus xn is equal to, so let us smuggle and apply the triangle inequality. So this is equal to modulus of xm minus xm minus 1 minus plus xm minus 1 minus xm minus 2 plus etc. minus xn. So this is less than or equal to, by triangle inequality, xm minus xm minus 1 plus xm minus 1 minus xm minus 2 plus etc. plus modulus of xn plus 1 minus xn. And applying this inequality, this is less than or equal to, so each of this term, modulus of xm minus xm minus 1, this is less than or equal to c raised to, so when it is xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1, it is c raised to n. So this is c raised to m minus 2 into modulus of x2 minus x1 plus c raised to m minus 3 into modulus of x2 minus x1 plus etc. plus c raised to n plus 1 minus 2. So n minus 1 into modulus of x2 minus x1. That means the sequence satisfies modulus of xm minus xn less than or equal to c raised to m minus 2 plus c raised to m minus 3 plus etc. plus c raised to n minus 1 into modulus of x2 minus x1. So this is equal to. Now observe that this is a geometric series of, this is a sum of finite number of terms of a geometric series, or this is equal to c raised to n minus 1 into, so c raised to m minus 2 minus n minus 1. So m minus n minus 1 plus etc. plus 1 into modulus of x2 minus x1. Observe that this is m minus n terms of a geometric series with the first term 1 and common ratio c. So this is equal to c raised to n minus 1 into 1 minus c raised to m minus n divided by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1. Note that the sum of a geometric series with the first term 1 and the common ratio c, and you have only finite number of terms. So since 0 less than c less than 1, this c raised to m minus n is greater than 0, and therefore this 1 minus c raised to m minus n is less than 1. So this means this is less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 into, so I will replace this 1 minus c raised to m minus n with a bigger quantity 1. So into 1 by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1. So observe that this tends to 0 as n tends to infinity, since 0 less than c less than 1. This means that modulus of xm minus xn tends to 0 as m and n tends to infinity. Therefore, sequence xn is a Cauchy sequence, and by the Cauchy convergence criteria, sequence xn is convergent. Hence the proof. So now we have established that every contractive sequence of real numbers is convergent. Now we will see, or we will have an estimate of the error in the nth stage. So we have a corollary where the estimate of the error involves the first two terms and the nth term, and the second one is another result in which the error involves the nth term and the n minus 1th term. So the corollary is, if x equal to sequence xn is a contractive sequence of real numbers with 0 less than c less than 1, and if x star is the limit of the sequence, then modulus of x star minus xn less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 divided by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1, and modulus of x star minus xn less than or equal to c divided by 1 minus c into modulus of xn minus xn minus 1. So let us prove the corollary. Part A. Part A, the importance is, here part A says that the error of estimation of the limit and the nth term of the sequence. So the difference between the nth term of the sequence and the limit is always less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 divided by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1. So as we increase the subscript n, or as we go ahead in the terms of the sequence, the error becomes smaller and smaller. So to prove the A part, we have already established in the proof of the theorem that modulus of xm minus xn is less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 divided by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1 for all m greater than or equal to n, or for all m greater than n. So letting m tending to infinity, we get limit m tending to infinity modulus of xm minus xn less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1, which implies modulus of x star minus xn less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1. Because as m tends to infinity, xm tends to x star. So this proves the part A of the corollary. Now we have part B of the corollary. So we have to prove modulus of x star minus xn less than or equal to c by 1 minus c into modulus of xn minus xn minus 1. So we have modulus of xm minus xn by triangle inequality is less than or equal to modulus of xm minus xm minus 1 plus modulus of xm minus 1 minus xm minus 2 plus etc. plus modulus of xn plus 1 minus xn. So we can readily establish that modulus of xn plus k minus xn plus k minus 1 is less than or equal to c raised to k into modulus of x n minus xn minus 1. Okay, using this in the inequality, we have the inequality modulus of xm minus xn is less than or equal to c raised to m minus 1 into modulus of xn minus xn minus 1 plus c raised to m minus 2 into modulus of xn minus xn minus 2 plus etc. plus c into modulus of xn minus xn minus 1. So this is less than or equal to c into c raised to m minus this will be c raised to m minus n minus 1 and etc. up to c. C raised to m minus n minus 1 plus etc. plus 1 into modulus of xn minus 1. Again, this being a geometric series, sum of finite terms of a geometric series with the first term 1, common ratio c, and the number of terms is m minus n. This is equal to c into 1 minus c raised to m minus n divided by 1 minus c into modulus of xn minus 1, which is less than or equal to c by 1 minus c into modulus of xn minus 1. By the same argument we have given in the proof of the theorem. Now letting m tends to infinity, we have modulus of x star minus xn is less than or equal to c by 1 minus c into modulus of xn minus 1. And that is the proof. Now let us find an application of the contractive sequence in finding the or approximating the solutions of certain polynomials. So we have a problem. We are given that the polynomial x cube minus 7x plus 2 equal to 0 has a solution between 0 and 1. We have to approximate the solution. So what we do is we will construct a sequence of real numbers which is contractive so that it converges, and the limit will be the root of the equation x cube minus 7x plus 2 equal to 0 between 0 and 1. So we recursively define the sequence using the given cubic equation. So given that x cube minus 7x plus 2 equal to 0, from that let us we have x is equal to 1 by 7 into x cube plus 2. So we define x n recursively. So we choose x1 between 0 and 1 up, and we define x n is equal to, or x n plus 1 is equal to 1 by 7 into x n cube plus 2 for n belongs to n. So we arbitrarily choose x1 between 0 and 1. So x1 can be any real number between 0 and 1, and we define xn recursively by xn plus 1 equal to 1 by 7 into xn cube plus 2. So let us observe that first we see that the sequence is contractive. So modulus of xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1 by definition is equal to modulus of 1 by 7 into xn plus 2 whole cube. So let us write it, xn plus 2 whole cube plus 2 minus 1 by 7 into xn plus 1 whole cube plus 2, its modulus. So this is equal to 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So this is equal to 1 by 7 into modulus of xn plus 2 whole cube minus xn plus 1 whole cube. So a cube minus b cube is equal to a square minus a square plus ab plus b square into a minus b. So this is equal to 1 by 7 into xn plus 2 whole square 1 by 7 into, so xn plus 2 is equal to, by definition, 1 by 7 into xn plus 1 whole cube plus 2. I'm sorry. So this is xn plus 1 whole cube plus 2 minus 1 by 7 into n plus 1 is 1 by 7 into xn cube plus 2. So this is xn cube plus 2. So this is equal to 1 by 7 into modulus of xn plus 1 whole cube minus xn cube. So this is by using the expression a cube minus b cube equal to a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. So this is equal to 1 by 7 into xn plus 1 whole square plus xn plus 1 into xn plus xn square into xn plus 1 minus xn. Its modulus. So modulus of each of these. And by definition 0 less than x1 less than 1 and xn plus 1 is defined like this. Therefore we have 0 less than xn less than 1 for all n belongs to n. We can easily verify that. Therefore here I replace each of these xn with a real number less than 1. I will get each of these is less than or equal to 1 by 7 into, I replace xn plus 1 with 1, xn plus 1, xn again with 1. So this will be less than or equal to 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So 3, so 1 plus 1 plus 1. So 3. So this is less than or equal to 3 by 7 into x n plus 1 minus xn for all n belongs to n. Okay, so that means modulus of xn plus 2 minus xn plus 1 less than or equal to some constant c which is equal to 3 by 7 lying between 0 and 1 into, of course, modulus of xn plus 1 minus xn. Therefore, x equal to sequence xn, where xn is defined recursively like this, is contractive. And hence, it is convergent. So let us assume that limit of sequence x is equal to r. So passing to the limit on both sides of this equation, and xn plus 1 equal to 1 by 7 into xn cube plus 2. So we have limit xn plus 1 is equal to 1 by 7 into limit xn cube plus 2. So this implies r equal to 1 by 7 into r cube plus 2, which will give us back r cube minus 7r plus 2 equal to 0. So the roots of this polynomial is the limit of the equation, limit of the sequence defined recursively like this. Okay, so now let us estimate the approximate root which lies, of course, between 0 and 1 using the corollary. For that, we have two corollaries where first one involves the first two terms of the sequence and the next one involves xn and xn minus 1. So let us first evaluate. So let us assume, say, choose x1 equal to 0.5. So by definition, we have xn plus 1 is equal to 1 by 7 into xn cube plus 2. Therefore, x2 by calculating will be 0.303571,429. x3 will be 0.289710,830. x4 is equal to 0.289188,016. So let us observe that the first three decimals are already fixed. x5 is equal to 0.289169,244. x6 is equal to 0.289168,571, and so on. Okay, so let us estimate the error in approximation of the limit. So let me observe that as we reached x6, the first 5 decimals are already fixed. That means the limit of the sequence will have the first 5 digits 2, 8, 9, 1 and 6. So let us observe that modulus of x2 minus x1 is less than 0.2. Then after n steps, we have modulus of x star minus xn is less than or equal to, the first estimation was this is less than or equal to c raised to n minus 1 by 1 minus c into modulus of x2 minus x1. So here c is equal to 3 by 7. So this is equal to 3 by 7 whole raised to n minus 1 divided by 1 minus 3 by 7 into, of course, modulus of x2 minus x1 is less than 0.2. So this is less than into 0.2. So this becomes 4 by 7. 7 goes upside. So 3 raised to n minus 1 divided by 7 raised to n minus 2 into 1 by 2 by 10 into 4. So it will be 1 by 20. So what we have observed is modulus of x star minus xn is less than 3 raised to n minus 1 by 7 raised to n minus 2 into 1 by 20. So we have calculated up to x6. So if I put n equal to 6, I will get modulus of x star minus x6 is less than or equal to 3 raised to 5 divided by 7 raised to 4 into 1 by 20. So this is less than or equal to 0.0051. This means that x6 approximates the first, at least the first 2 decimals of the limit. But the actual approximation is substantially better than this. So let us use the second part of the corollary that says that x star minus x6 modulus of x star minus xn is less than or equal to c by 1 minus c into modulus of xn minus xn minus 1. Okay, so if I fix n equal to 6 again, we have modulus of x6 minus x5 is less than 0.000005. We observe that the first 5 digits are, 5 decimals are fixed. So using this, I have modulus of x star minus x6 is less than or equal to 3 by 7 divided by 1 minus 3 by 7 into, of course, maybe less than, I can write less than 0.000005. Okay, so this is less than 0.000004. That means this x6 approximate the first 5 decimals of the limit. That means the root of this given polynomial equation is approximately equal to x6, which was 0.289168,571, where the first 5 decimals are accurate and the error happens after the first 5 decimals. So this is the solution.